I arrived here February 10th, 1997, into the Salvation Army Rehabilitation Program. I had an addiction problem, and by that time, I was like between the age of 40, 41 years old. And so in 97, you know, it was just like everything had come to a head, you know, and so I came here into the Salvation Army to see exactly, you know, what a better life I could possibly have. When I arrived here, it was like a cultural shock to me. It was totally culture shock. It was like this place here was like 10 years behind the times. See, I grew up in Plainfield, New Jersey, where it was diverse, but when I got here, it was just, you know, a little different than that, you know. And in 97, you know, the Salvation Army, it was a good program. It was a very good program. I would say, you know, that and recovery helped me, you know, find myself, really.
I arrived in Scranton 2 years ago after being incarcerated for 35 years. I'm originally from Philadelphia. And the prison where I was housed is on this side of the state, obviously. And a lot of the staff members, a lot of the inmates were from northeastern Pennsylvania. It's funny, I actually got to northeastern Pennsylvania in 97 through this side of the state. And I was like, wow, I wouldn't mind living in a place like that, because like the news stories were very like bland and non-violent and things like that. So that was my first experience with Scranton, just watching it on the news. And as time went on, I just decided that I did not want to return to Philadelphia. It just wasn't for me. I left there obviously at 18. I had been a part of the juvenile system since I was 12. So this just seemed like a second chance town. By the time I got here, what he had saw had changed. There was a lot of diversity. And to me, it was a beautiful thing. Nobody cared about my past. Nobody wasn't concerned about my ethnicity or anything. I was just a human being. You know, it was a great place to start over.
I noticed that I started networking and getting to know people here and becoming friends with people. I didn't have to hide me any longer, because in recovery, you're allowed to be whoever you want to be, because they already know you when you walk through the door. They already know who you are. So you can't just BS them. Excuse me for saying that. But I met a lot of people here, and we became very good friends, and this was 26 years ago. And I still have those friends 26 years today. Very good friends. They became part of my support system. Once I started doing the commitments in recovery, I felt worthy or worth. And, you know, it was like helping another person, that I was told that helping another person helps you get out of yourself and what's going on with you.
And he was my first support system. You know, he was the guy that, and it's funny how you know, there's no coincidence. It's funny how things work. So I was in a halfway house, and next to the halfway house is a barbershop. The owner of the barbershop was also incarcerated, and I knew him from the prison. So I believe he told Steve about me, and so that's how I met Steve.
And
you know, so you see how it's a ripple effect. And again, this is Scranton. This is not uncommon. This is a living example of what I'm talking about.
I'm an advocate in Judge Barace's courtroom. I'm part of peer-to-peer. I sit in a group called Strive with Mary and the rest of the guys, and that's parole. So I do a lot of reentry programs and finding sources. When I graduated Salvation Army in 97, I became their social worker before I even went to college. But due to recovery in the Salvation Army, I ended up going to Lackawanna College and getting Counseling and Human Service Associate's degree, then University of Scranton, and getting a bachelor's in Counseling and Human Service, then the Marywood, and getting a master's degree in social work. So I was availed all of these opportunities. That's what Scranton had to offer.
The purpose in me getting out, and the reason that God allowed me to get out of prison, is to show people that no matter what bad choices you've made in life, take that opportunity to do the right thing and share it with other people. And that's what I tried to do. I wasn't released from prison because I'm a wonderful person. I was released from prison to prove that no matter how much time that you do, you can take that opportunity and do something with it. People have to realize that there's consequences to bad choices. And every day, I'm faced with challenges, but they're good challenges. Going to work, working in a place where I'm around people and I'm trusted, and that's hard to gain when you get out of prison, but I value that, and to be given another chance. So I take that opportunity to share it with others, to show that they can make it.
I was taught in recovery to say, this is a sick person, how may I help? And that took over. The changes in here took over, which helped me out there. And so it was not about looking at the bad, it was just being grateful for the good that you had.
I'm hoping that from the reentry aspect of Scranton, that it becomes even more embracing. I believe it's going to happen. I think it happens every day. There's something opening up. There's changes being made because a person can be themselves. It's not about hiding behind color or money or whatever. That's what I see. And I think sometimes you need a new set of eyes to see things that are really there.
I see Scranton as being one of the breeding grounds for the healing. There's so much opportunity here, but it's not enough space to help as many people as, we would like to. My birthday is July the 4th, 1955. And what that stands for me is independence. It's something that all of us are looking forward to. But once we know how to do it in our own way and demand the respect that we are worth, then we'll see this whole country open right up.
There needs to be, like you said, some healing, and people just need to stop and listen. When I see a lot of violence happening, especially when it involves youth, because I was that kid at one time, and the first thing you'll hear a news correspondent talk about is, well, you're eligible for the death penalty. What needs to happen is to talk to that kid. Why are you so angry? And talk to these kids before they get to that point. Because there's not enough listening going on. We're only here for a short time. And we have so much. There are people risking their life to get into this country as we speak, and we're fighting over political differences. There are people that see what this country has to offer, but we don't see it. My ancestors were brought over here involuntarily. But guess what? We're still here, and we're doing things with it. So I see what this country has to offer. There, again, people dying as we speak, trying to get over here. But we're here, and we still don't see the blessing.
Our lives made